Welcome, everyone. So we are doing a panel on remodeling and building during and after a pandemic. We have Jeff here with Firstcall Remodeling, and Warner Stellian, Brian Moore, and Allison. So I just have some questions for you guys, and we'll go from there. What precautions, if any, did you take as a business after this pandemic happened?
Well, as a company, for Warner Stellian, all of our employees are masked. So, for the protection of employees and the customers. And then we never actually closed our showroom because we were an essential business, so that was a positive for our community. So we've been able to stay open and serve the community. Appliances, obviously, refrigeration, certain categories are considered essential, so we were able to help people all throughout. And so it's been, challenging, obviously, with appliance availability issues, though. As a company, for us, we've got the most inventory we've ever had on hand right now. So we've had a recovery as far as availability, and we've been able to stay open and serve our customers, and just for the safety of our customers and employees, we do wear masks.
And on top of that too, when we're doing deliveries and stuff, we're pre-screening our customers, making sure that they don't have any symptoms, making sure that our delivery guys are wearing masks and protected, and to help our community too, we're actually still doing full delivery. We are still able to do that for people in the community, so because you do need this stuff. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For our business, we've always had Friday morning company meetings, and it's where our entire staff gets together. There's just over 20 of us, and we all gather in a room and just kind of talk about the week and upcoming events and plans and do team building stuff. And we've kind of put a stop to all that, and we have not gotten back to doing that yet. So we are certainly looking forward to being able to get back together as a company. Obviously the whole mask thing, we've put safety protocols both in our office as well as out in the field. And we have really instructed our employees out in the field to always wear a mask when you show up at the job. So know that working in a mask is always the most comfortable, especially when you're doing things that you get hot and sweaty and a lot of construction. So we really left that up to the homeowner's comfort level. If they say, hey, we're comfortable with you not wearing a mask while you're working, then we allow our employees to take masks off as long as no one else is around. But then internally in the office, we've decided that as employees are in their own offices, they can take their masks off. But as they go out into the common areas, running to the bathroom, they're cleaning all of the doorknobs and light switches and handles and everything to try to keep our employees as safe as possible. Like I said, that's kind of worn off, and we probably don't do that near as much as we should. But thankfully, our business has not been affected by people in our office actually testing positive for COVID yet, and hopefully no one does. So I think if anyone does, we'll probably get back to those safety protocols very quickly.
Awesome. Yes, and if anyone live watching has questions now, just put them in the chat box, and I'll ask them here. So have people changed their way they design their homes, like either new or remodeling, because of the pandemic? Have you seen those kinds of differences at all?
Go ahead.
Yeah, our big thing right now is home offices, and that is directly because of the pandemic. So people turning dining rooms and living rooms into home offices, or maybe taking that extra bedroom and adding bookshelves and turning the closet into more storage space instead of clothing space to use for home offices. That if it weren't for the pandemic, I don't think we would be seeing this trend right now. So that's probably the only thing that I can think of from our company that we've seen from a design per se. But I definitely, we really haven't seen people changing the way they design their homes per se because of the pandemic. I think everyone's anxious for this thing to get over with, and aren't really willing to change the way they're designing their home because of it.
I think for us, it's been more of ordering. So, product availability for appliances right now is much more difficult than it was pre-pandemic. So, people are definitely ordering their appliances much further in advance if they can help it, to make sure that they get their products on time for alignment of when their project is meant to be done. You know, some items, if you're looking for specific colors, you know, that's not regular stainless steel. Some stuff is taking like 7 or 8 months to get, and it's really rough, but we have great communication with our vendors and can get good ETAs to update the customer and make sure that we are doing our best to get it on time for them. So it's more of an ordering process for us, I would say.
I would say definitely with the pandemic, people have been home more. They've been, you know, around their working from home for different reasons or whatever, and they've used their appliances more. And a lot of people wanted to upgrade to nicer things. They're willing to make that after using your stove or your, you know, whatever appliances more frequently, or laundry, whatever it happened to be. You know, you might want something that's still nicer, and you realize there are things that you had, the things that didn't work on your old appliances. Maybe you want to get new, nicer appliances. That's been nice. And then also with the stimulus packages, it's been great. When you get those, people say, well, do people just put that money in their bank account? Well, honestly, I have customers come in and literally say, I've got $600, I've got $1,400, I'm going to spend that on appliances. It literally transacts like that. So those stimuluses do directly affect customers. They do come in and spend that money. Americans love to spend money if they get it. So
Especially free money.
yes, so trust me, if that $1,400 goes through, retail sales do increase. I can tell you for a fact. So.
Awesome. So where do you guys see the trends going so far for 2021?
Well, like I just mentioned, we've got the home and remodeling show down at the fairgrounds this weekend, so we've been talking to people last night and this morning, and I've had 2 conversations with families, both about home offices and wanting to make space, and it's one situation that I can think of this morning that I was talking to. Both husband and wife are now working from home. He always had an office in the home. Now she's having to find a space to work. Right now she's at our dining room table. They don't see a end in sight for that. She may be working from home permanently, so they are looking to find a way to work, both of them from their home. So they're looking at putting an addition on so that they can get a home office. So I really think that we're going to see a lot of trends on how to use the home, how to live in the home all day long, all night long, and that's going to be where people are going to office out of, live out of, and so also kitchens are becoming more and more used than they've ever been used before, and so we're seeing a lot of people wanting to upgrade, like Brian was saying, upgrade their kitchens, adding nicer appliances, nicer cabinets, nicer countertops, just because they're not going out. They're using that same money that they used to go out for dinner with now, and they're putting it in their homes, and mainly in their kitchens and home offices is what we're seeing.
I think for us, it's, you know, stainless steel has kind of become the norm for appliance materials, and now we're seeing a lot more people are going back into white and, you know, so different finishes. They're kind of not looking for stainless steel as much, which is funny because that's what's mostly available right now, but, you know, certain brands offer, you know, like matte finishes now, which have been really popular and of course are extremely difficult to get at the moment, but definitely going to be a trend as it does become more available. You know, and then built-in product too. A lot of bigger companies that are higher end, like Sub-Zero and Wolf, are coming out with new products that have seamless hinges and stuff where you can make them look exactly like your cabinetry, not have gaps around them. So really having like hidden appliances in your kitchen has been a very big rise that I've seen. So.
But like your rose gold, has that taken off? Rose gold finished cabinet or appliances? And
So like GE Cafe has like handles and stuff that you can switch, and they have copper, or not copper, but it's like a bronze finish and stuff, and that's been a really big hit, especially with the white finish. So that's their designer series. But we haven't really seen many, you know, rose gold and stuff quite yet, unless they're doing it custom with their panels and everything,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm sure many people have been doing, but we don't so much do the panel side. We would have it be a panel ready option.
There are some brands that we can order, some of the
Yeah.
custom brands that you can order colors. Though honestly, not a ton yet, but it seems like Iowa sometimes is a little behind on those trends.
so they released that at the National Kitchen Bath Show last year, and the Builder Show.
Yep.
And I just thought that was just going to take off like crazy.
Well, we've got some stuff on
It hasn't
display.
really hasn't really taken off, huh?
But yeah, it seems like Iowa's a little sometimes behind the coast on some of that stuff.
Yeah,
So it'll hit, but yeah, we've got it all available for sure.
Hi, yeah. So, how have you prepared your clients about the what ifs that would come up, or like how are you dealing with that?
You know, for us, we really haven't had that issue. We haven't really had to prepare our clients for. I'm assuming when you say the what ifs of what if someone gets sick while we're working on their job or something like that. Yeah, thankfully we really haven't had that conversation with clients. Right after the pandemic started, we did have an electrician that worked on one of our crews that tested. I'm sorry, he didn't test positive. His wife tested positive, and it was right when the pandemic was first starting. It was a huge deal. You know, that's kind of when everyone thought that if you got it, it was everyone was gonna. It was just a really, really bad deal, and it is a bad deal for a lot of people. So I don't want to take that lightly, but. At the same token, we've learned a lot over the course of the past year, but when that happened, I mean, we shut the entire job site down for like 2 weeks. We hired a crew to go in and clean everything before we let other people back in, and that's really the only job site that we've ever had that has had to stop, or we've even had to think about that what if card. So we certainly don't talk about it up front with our customers. It's kind of one of those things that if it happens, I think everyone understands, and we deal with it the way the CDC would recommend us dealing with it.
I think our what ifs are more of like just product availability issues. So I mean, as long as people are ahead, if they can start the project earlier, that's great. I mean, we have, as I just said before, the most inventory we've had on hand. But if people want specifics, sometimes it can be difficult because when you're special order specifics, it can be an issue. So on projects, as early as people can get in, if it's a new construction, they're just breaking ground. Ordering appliances right then is a good idea. Instead of normally we would tell people in the past, it would have been like a month or two out, not a big deal. Now people are ordering 6 months, 8 months, a year ahead if they have that availability. So the what ifs are more for us just product availability type things, and we're ahead of the game over a lot of our competitors. But those unforeseen things always happen. So.
And with what ifs too, as far as the customer perspective. Even if they do plan ahead of time, we try our best to get the product in time for them. And, there's always the question, what if it doesn't come in time? And so if they do have appliances to kind of hold on to just in case until then, that is something that's kind of recommended, especially if it is something where the ETA has been pushed back multiple times because, all the manufacturers that we're working with do have goals to get stuff out in time, but there's many factors into how they can get delayed as well. Traveling to get parts, stuff getting shipped, and traveling to come to us. And so with that, if something isn't there in time, we have very good communication with them to keep them updated and make sure we're all kind of communicating and getting things taken care of. So.
Yeah. So I think we've kind of talked about this a little bit, but have you guys changed the way you run business every day then because of this pandemic, or has it really kind of stayed the same? What has that looked like with you guys for your businesses during the pandemic?
Well, I mean, like I said, we've been open the whole time. Sales, I mean, as a company, appliance sales and remodeling and construction have been just crazy busy. So, we've just had safety protocols in place that we talked about earlier, and we've been able to deliver and get into customers' homes and get the product installed, serviced, in-house service, in-house delivery. So we've been able to control that stuff with our safety protocols, and business has been really, really good. So,
I think the biggest part of the change for us has been product availability. If something wasn't in stock or wasn't made previously, we could talk to our vendors and, hey, is this in stock in your guys' warehouse for us to just have shipping time? If not, and it needs to be made, we would still have an approximate date right away that we could stick by and it wouldn't change. So now we are definitely more proactive in making sure that orders are in sooner, and also, being transparent with the customer or builder that we're working with in, hey, you know, these specific units are either more available or not. So a big part in the sales portion for me anyway has been more checking on availability, watching for dock appointments of units coming in, whereas previously, pre-pandemic, we would maybe not have it, but I could be like, oh, it would for sure be here in 2 weeks, you know, so let's just schedule it out 2 weeks, wouldn't have to worry about it. Whereas now it's like, okay, let's have it estimated, and we'll check back closer to this date and kind of go from there.
So more follow-up.
More follow-up, absolutely. Communicating with the customers and builders much more often, which is building relationships, but is also more difficult. We'd like it to move faster, but we've seen a huge improvement throughout this, you know, from right now compared to when the pandemic first started. We have a much bigger increase of product that is available. So slowly but surely we are seeing improvement with that.
You know, for us, outside of the safety protocols, our biggest thing is we've never really had people work from home full time. And when the pandemic did first start, we did have people work from home. So, and still do today. So for me, learning how to manage people that are not, you know, within our office, and learning how to manage numbers from a distance, I guess, and not being able to just walk into someone's office and talk to them about their project has been interesting. But that's been the biggest thing for us is more internally, not having so many people crowded in our office and spacing people out.
Awesome. Well, any last thoughts or remarks?
Can't wait till the pandemic's over. See what it brings us. Yeah.
I think it's, I mean, from all of us that do this type of work, construction or remodeling or providing a service or a product, I honestly think this is going to be a crazy next few months. I think it's about to explode as far as sales, and with the way the housing market is and construction is, even with the slight increase with construction materials cost, it seems like everything I see is, I think the next few months through July, August, September is going to be record numbers. So I think everybody can just strap in and get ready to make some sales.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. And if you're able to come join us down at the fairgrounds this weekend, today, tomorrow, we're at the Jacobson building down at the fairgrounds for the home and remodeling show. So come down and join us, and look forward to talking to you. And thanks for Showplace for Kitchen for hosting us today.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Showplace.